In the 3rd century BC, the Mediterranean world was dominated by two great powers, Rome and Carthage. Rome, a burgeoning republic, was hungry for expansion and influence in the Mediterranean. Carthage, a wealthy and powerful city-state, held a dominant position in maritime trade and territory. Sicily, an island between the two powers, became the focal point of their ambitions and conflict. In 264 BC, the conflict erupted in the city of Messina, where Rome and Carthage both sought control. Rome sent its legions to Sicily, marking the beginning of the First Punic War. Carthage, with its powerful navy, prepared to defend its interests in the Mediterranean. Rome captured key cities along the Sicilian coast, gaining a foothold on the island. The Carthaginian navy retaliated, clashing with Roman forces in the waters surrounding Sicily. To counter Carthage's naval superiority, Rome innovated with the corvus, a boarding device for ships. The corvus allowed Roman soldiers to board enemy ships, turning sea battles into infantry skirmishes. Naval battles raged, with both sides suffering heavy losses in their quest for control of Sicily. Rome secured its first major naval victory at Mylae in 260 BC, boosting its morale and confidence. Despite setbacks, Carthage regrouped and launched counterattacks from its strongholds in North Africa. The war seesawed, with territories changing hands as both sides gained and lost ground. Roman commanders like Regulus led daring campaigns, pushing deep into Carthaginian territory. The Battle of Ecnomus in 256 BC was one of the largest naval battles in history, with Rome emerging victorious. Carthage, relying heavily on mercenaries, struggled with internal dissent and resource shortages. Rome attempted to invade North Africa, but the campaign ended in disaster, with Regulus captured. The Spartan general Xanthippus, hired by Carthage, led their forces to victory against the Roman invaders. The war dragged on for years, draining both Rome and Carthage of men and resources. Rome's persistence paid off as they built a new fleet and won a decisive victory at the Battle of the Aegates Islands in 241 BC. The defeat forced Carthage to sue for peace, marking the end of the First Punic War. Rome emerged as the dominant power in the Western Mediterranean, while Carthage was left weakened. But the seeds of future conflict had been sown, as both powers would clash again in the Second Punic War. The peace treaty required Carthage to pay a massive indemnity, straining its already weakened economy. Carthage also had to surrender Sicily, marking Rome's first acquisition outside the Italian peninsula. The Roman Republic celebrated its victory, but the struggle had left deep scars on both sides. In Carthage, the loss of Sicily was a bitter blow, fueling resentment and a desire for revenge. Rome's success in the First Punic War emboldened its expansionist policies across the Mediterranean. Carthage, humiliated but not defeated, began rebuilding its navy and military in preparation for future conflicts. In the aftermath, both Rome and Carthage sought new alliances to strengthen their positions. Hannibal Barca, son of Hamilcar, swore eternal hatred for Rome and became a symbol of Carthaginian resistance. Rome strengthened its hold on Sicily, turning it into a critical base for further expansion into the Mediterranean. Carthage expanded its influence in Spain, establishing new colonies and gathering resources for the next war. The memory of the First Punic War lingered, influencing Roman and Carthaginian strategies for years to come. Roman soldiers and citizens often recounted the tales of their victories, glorifying Rome's triumph over Carthage. Carthaginian veterans, on the other hand, spoke of the war's horrors and their determination to reclaim honor. The conflict also left a legacy of technological and tactical innovations, particularly in naval warfare. Rome's success at sea laid the foundation for its future dominance in the Mediterranean. The First Punic War also highlighted the importance of Sicily, which would remain a key battleground in future conflicts. The war had significant economic impacts, with both Rome and Carthage facing financial strain. Rome imposed taxes and levies to fund its military, leading to tensions within the Republic. Carthage, struggling to pay its indemnity to Rome, saw unrest and rebellion in its territories. Despite the peace, both powers continued to build their military forces, preparing for the next inevitable conflict. The First Punic War set the stage for the epic rivalry between Rome and Carthage, which would dominate the ancient world for centuries. In Rome, veterans of the First Punic War were honored with parades and monuments, cementing their legacy. In Carthage, the memory of the war was a painful reminder of the need for vigilance and strength. The First Punic War also influenced the development of Roman military strategies, particularly in naval warfare. Carthage, meanwhile, learned valuable lessons in resilience and adaptation, preparing for future challenges. The Roman Republic, bolstered by its victory, began looking beyond Sicily for new territories to conquer. Carthage, focusing on its colonies in Spain, sought to build a new power base to challenge Rome. The rivalry between Rome and Carthage continued to grow, with both sides aware that another war was inevitable. As Rome strengthened its hold on Sicily, Carthage's ambitions turned towards Spain and North Africa. The lessons learned from the First Punic War would shape the strategies and decisions of both Rome and Carthage in the years to come. Rome's victory in the First Punic War set the stage for its rise as the dominant power in the Mediterranean. Carthage, determined to recover from its defeat, began rebuilding its navy and military forces. The First Punic War left a lasting legacy, influencing the course of history in the ancient world. Rome's ambitions continued to grow, leading to the eventual clash with Carthage in the Second Punic War. The First Punic War was over, but the rivalry between Rome and Carthage would continue to shape the ancient world for centuries.